Welcome to my channel Old Valuable Chiller. Today we are deep diving into fascinating story. The Eisenhower $1 coin is one of the most iconic large-sized dollar coins ever minted by the United States Mint. The Eisenhower dollar was issued from 1971 to 1978, and among its most famous varieties is the bicentennial version, minted from 1975 to 1976, carrying the jewel date 1776 to 1976. This coin was created to celebrate the 200th anniversary of American independence, and it holds a special place in the history of U.S. coinage. Collectors and enthusiasts often seek out the Eisenhower dollar for its size, history, and patriotic design, especially the bicentennial issue, which carries a unique reverse that is instantly recognizable. When the United States was preparing to celebrate its bicentennial in 1976, Congress authorized special coinage to mark the occasion. The Eisenhower $1 coin became one of the most prominent bicentennial coins. Unlike the regular Eisenhower dollar, which typically featured the eagle landing on the moon reverse design, the bicentennial Eisenhower dollar carried a special reverse design featuring the Liberty Bell superimposed on the moon. This design symbolized both the nation's historic birth of freedom in 1776 and its space achievements of the 20th century. The obverse of the coin continued to honor President Dwight D. Eisenhower, the 34th President of the United States, whose portrait was designed by chief engraver Frank Gasparo. The bicentennial Eisenhower dollar was issued in both clad and silver versions. The circulating coins were struck in a copper-nickel clad composition, while special collector coins were made with a 40% silver content. These silver issues were sold in uncirculated and proved versions directly to collectors. The jewel dating of 1776 to 1976 makes these coins stand out, since no Eisenhower dollars bear the date 1975. Every coin struck in 1975 and 1976 carries the bicentennial jewel date. This adds to the collectability and historic significance of the coin. For collectors, the Eisenhower bicentennial dollar offers a wide range of varieties, mint marks, and finishes. Coins were minted at the Philadelphia Mint with no mint mark, at the Denver Mint with a D mint mark, and at the San Francisco Mint with an S mint mark. The San Francisco Mint produced most of the special collector coins, including proof versions and the 40% silver editions. Proof coins from San Francisco are particularly sought after because of their mirror-like surfaces and sharp details. These coins were sold in special sets that also included the bicentennial quarter and half dollar, all bearing unique reverse designs for America's 200th birthday. One reason collectors and historians find the Eisenhower bicentennial dollar fascinating is because of its size and weight. The coin is large, measuring 38.1 millimeters in diameter and weighing about 22.7 grams for the clad version and slightly more for the silver version. In circulation, the coin was sometimes considered inconvenient because of its bulk, but for collectors, its large size makes it perfect for showcasing detailed designs. The Liberty Bell and Moon reverse design, created by Dennis R. Williams, a young art student at the time, remains one of the most striking designs ever featured on a U.S. dollar coin. It successfully combined America's historic symbol of freedom with the modern achievement of space exploration. The Eisenhower $1 coin, especially the bicentennial edition, also reflects a unique moment in American culture. The mid-1970s were a time of national pride, with celebrations of the bicentennial happening across the country. Coins like the Eisenhower dollar allowed ordinary Americans to hold a piece of history in their hands. Many people saved these coins as souvenirs of the nation's 200th birthday, and today they can still be found tucked away in collections, drawers, or coin albums. From an investment perspective, most Eisenhower bicentennial dollars in circulated condition are common and hold only face value or slightly more. However, uncirculated coins, proof coins, and silver editions can carry premiums depending on their condition and rarity. The 40% silver bicentennial dollars are especially valuable to collectors, and high-grade proof coins can command significant interest in the numismatic market. Collectors often seek certified and graded examples from services like PCGS or NGC to ensure authenticity and quality, especially for the silver versions. The Eisenhower $1 coin, minted with the jewel date 1776 to 1976, also stands as the last large-sized dollar coin issued for general circulation in the United States. After 1978, the Susan B. Anthony dollar was introduced, featuring a much smaller size. This means the Eisenhower dollar represents the end of an era for large circulating U.S. dollar coins. Its historical significance, combined with the patriotic bicentennial design, makes it a must-have for coin enthusiasts and history lovers alike. For those interested in collecting Eisenhower bicentennial dollars, it's important to look at the different finishes and mint marks. Circulation strikes from Philadelphia and Denver are relatively common, while the San Francisco issues, particularly the 40% silver-proof coins, hold higher value. Condition is always a major factor in determining value. Coins that are free of scratches, wear, and handling marks will naturally be more desirable. Brilliant unsaculated examples with original mint luster and sharp details are especially prized. Collectors often recommend handling these coins carefully, using cotton gloves, and storing them in protective holders to maintain their condition over time. Another aspect of the Eisenhower bicentennial dollar's appeal is the design competition that created the reverse. The U.S. Mint held a public design contest for the bicentennial coins, and the chosen design for the dollar came from Dennis R. Williams. At only 22 years old, he became one of the youngest designers ever to contribute to U.S. coinage. His creative vision of the Liberty Bell superimposed on the moon captured the spirit of both history and progress, making the coin instantly memorable. The design symbolizes freedom, independence, and the technological achievements of the United States, all in one coin. Even though the Eisenhower bicentennial dollar was minted in large quantities, its historical and symbolic value continues to attract attention. Millions of these coins were saved by the public, so while they may not be rare, they carry a special meaning for many Americans. They connect people to the celebration of the nation's bicentennial, to President Eisenhower's legacy, and to the broader history of U.S. coinage. In summary, the Eisenhower $1 coin with the dual date 1776 to 1976 is much more than just a coin. It represents the United States bicentennial, honors Dwight D. Eisenhower, and celebrates both the nation's founding and its achievements in space exploration. With its large size, unique design, and variety of mintages, it remains one of the most collectible modern U.S. coins. Whether you are a new collector, an experienced numismatist, or simply someone interested in American history, the Eisenhower bicentennial dollar offers a fascinating journey into the past. Its connection to 1776, its role in the 1976 celebrations, and its lasting impact on U.S. coin collecting make it a truly remarkable piece of American heritage. Now we will explore the Canadian 1-cent coin from 1996 is a fascinating piece of Canadian numismatic history. For collectors, investors, and anyone interested in the history of Canadian coins, the 1996 Canadian penny is more than just a small copper-plated coin. It represents the heritage of Canada's currency, the story of the Royal Canadian Mint, and the evolution of Canadian money. In this video, we are going to talk in depth about the Canadian 1-cent coin 1996 from Canada, its design, its history, its composition, its value, and why collectors around the world are so interested in this particular year of the Canadian penny. The Canadian 1-cent coin has always been a favorite among collectors. The 1996 Canadian penny is part of a long tradition of coins that go back to 1858 when the first Canadian cents was struck. By the 1990s, the design of the penny was already iconic, featuring the famous maple leaf twig on the reverse, designed by George Kruger Gray, and the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse. The 1996 Canadian 1-cent coin continues this legacy. The maple leaf, which has become a national symbol of Canada, represents pride, identity, and heritage. The obverse portrait of Queen Elizabeth II is by Dora de Peder Hunt, a Canadian sculptor whose artwork graced Canadian coins during this time. Now, let's talk about the technical details. The 1996 Canadian penny is made from copper-plated zinc. Before 1997, the Canadian cent was struck primarily in this copper-plated zinc composition. The diameter of the coin is 19.05 millimeters, the weight is about 2.5 grams, and it has a plain edge. This coin was minted by the Royal Canadian Mint, one of the most advanced and respected mints in the world. The 1996 penny was produced in large numbers for circulation, but some coins, especially those in mint condition or uncirculated state, are highly valued by collectors. When we consider the value of the 1996 Canadian 1-cent coin, there are different factors to keep in mind. The face value is, of course, just 1 cent, but for collectors, the numismatic value can be higher. Circulated coins usually hold minimal value above face, but uncirculated or proof-like examples, especially in graded conditions, can be worth more. Professional grading services often evaluate coins on a scale, and a 1996 Canadian penny in high mint state can fetch a premium. Some collectors look for errors or variations in the 1996 Canadian cent, such as die cracks, off-center strikes, or doubling, which can significantly increase the value. The history of the Canadian penny is also tied to the economic realities of Canada. By 2012, the Canadian government discontinued the production of the penny due to the high cost of manufacturing compared to its face value. That means the 1996 Canadian 1-cent coin belongs to a discontinued series, making it even more significant for collectors who want to preserve a piece of Canadian monetary history. Having a 1996 penny is like holding onto a little piece of Canadian culture that is no longer in circulation. For those interested in collecting Canadian coins, the 1996 1-cent coin is an accessible and affordable starting point. Many beginner collectors start with pennies, as they are easy to find, fun to collect, and tell a lot about Canada's history. From the design of the maple leaf to the portrait of the Queen, every small detail is rich with meaning. Collectors often enjoy building a complete date set, where they collect one penny from each year, and the 1996 Canadian penny is an essential part of that set. Another aspect of the Canadian penny that is often overlooked is its cultural importance. Generations of Canadians grew up with the penny in their pockets. The 1996 penny might remind people of everyday life, buying candy, saving change in jars, or learning to count money as children. Even though the penny was phased out, it remains a nostalgic symbol of Canadian life. Many Canadians still keep jars of pennies at home, and the 1996 1-cent coin is often found in these collections. From a collector's point of view, condition matters greatly. A 1996 Canadian 1-cent coin in circulated condition may not fetch much, but when preserved in brilliant uncirculated or mint state, it becomes much more desirable. Coin collectors and numismatists often look for examples with sharp details, no scratches, no discoloration, and full luster. These qualities can turn a simple penny into a valuable collectible. Graded coins, especially those certified by well-known grading companies, can command higher prices in auctions and coin shows. The Royal Canadian Mint has always taken pride in producing high-quality coins, and the 1996 Canadian penny is no exception. The precision of the maple leaf design, the clarity of the Queen's portrait, and the overall craftsmanship make it a wonderful coin to study and collect. Many collectors appreciate the artistry of Canadian coins, and the penny, despite its low face value, is admired as a small masterpiece of coin design. Now, let's consider the investment potential. While a single 1996 Canadian penny may not make someone rich, building a complete collection of Canadian cents, including rare varieties and high-grade examples, can be a rewarding investment. As time goes on, coins from discontinued series, like the penny, become harder to find in pristine condition. Collectors who carefully preserve their 1996 Canadian 1-cent coins today may see them increase in value over time. The 1996 Canadian penny also plays a role in educational collecting. Teachers and parents often use pennies to introduce children to the concept of money, history, and collecting. The 1996 penny, being relatively modern, is easy to relate to and is often used in starter coin collections. It is an excellent teaching tool for young collectors who want to learn about Canadian history, currency, and the importance of preserving heritage through coins. Collectors also look at mintage numbers, and while the Royal Canadian Mint produced millions of pennies in 1996, survival in mint condition is much lower. Most pennies entered circulation, suffered wear and tear, and lost their original shine. That is why examples that remain untouched, stored in original mint sets, or carefully preserved by collectors, are much rarer and more valuable today. In conclusion, the Canadian 1-cent coin from 1996 is much more than just a small copper-plated coin. It is a collectible piece of Canadian history. It carries cultural and nostalgic value, and it represents the artistry of the Royal Canadian Mint. Whether you are a beginner collector starting out with Canadian pennies, or an experienced numismatist seeking high-grade examples, the 1996 Canadian penny is an important part of any collection. Its maple leaf design, its portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, its copper-plated zinc composition, and its place in the timeline of Canadian coinage make it a coin worth keeping. So, if you have a 1996 Canadian 1-cent coin, don't underestimate it. Look closely at its condition, Check if it might have unique errors, and consider adding it to your collection. Over time, the value of such coins can grow, and beyond financial worth, they carry the heritage of Canadian money. The Canadian penny may be gone from circulation, but in the world of collectors, coins like the 1996 Canadian 1 cent will always have